My name is Leif Brandes, and since 2018, I've been a professor in marketing and strategy at the University of Lucerne in Switzerland. The first time I heard about lightboards was obviously after the start of the pandemic, and I was looking for ways to make the teaching more interactive while using distance learning tools. But the reason I wanted to use a lightboard is that I wanted to be able to teach my students on the whiteboard, and at the same time for the students to be able to see me, because I've also had students who required or were depending on lip reading, and so that for me was a perfect way to stay in touch with the student and allow for that. So I use the lightboard mainly for live streaming and live sessions with students, and I use it for case discussions with students. So what I would usually do is I start the recording and would collect the comments from the students on the board and visualize some relationships between some key aspects of a case. And the students really appreciate that they're able to see me while I'm doing this, and I can actually highlight certain areas on the lightboard, which is something I couldn't do as easily and engaging if I was using a standard whiteboard where the students couldn't see me at the same time. The benefits from using the Learning Glass for me are that I feel closer to the students in a way, and it's a more engaging way of teaching them. What I mean by that is that I can actually look at them, I can look at the board and still see the students in front of me, and that gives me an immediate feedback on whether they're still following what I'm discussing or whether they're somewhere absent-minded, and I think that's a real benefit. And at the same time, it works the other way around. They see me explaining concepts while pointing at certain points and parts of the lightboard, which is again a bit different and advantage for them. The first feedback I received from students was actually non-verbal feedback, because the first time I used it, I set up the lightboard in front of my camera and it was transparent, so students didn't know that I was actually standing behind the Learning Glass. And then I said, okay, so let's now talk about this case, and I started writing the headline on the lightboard, and for them it was like writing in the air, and you could see the students like freaking out in a positive way. It's like, oh my God, what is this? This is so super exciting and interesting. And I've had a few students giving me verbal feedback saying that this is so innovative. We really appreciate that you took all this effort to make the lectures more interesting and more engaging in these digital learning phases. I think it's really a valuable way to explain the equations and the things that students are struggling with often at the beginning. So I think that's a great way to use the lightboard, or whenever you want to visualize something. I think it's a great tool as well. It's way easier than many people may think. I think the key thing to using these technologies is being open and trying to focus on how to improve the learning experience for the students. And then I think naturally people will come along and across this particular option, and I would just recommend they try it out.